So I believe the case laws would give you a clarification to how the laws on miscarriage works. So the first case we're going to be discussing is Dr. Jacob George versus State of Kerala, where Dr. Jacob George was a homeopathic doctor who conducted a- abortion on a woman with her consent. But during the procedure, the woman dies, and the doctor was sued sued under 314. Though the trial court acquitted him on appeal, the High Court convicted him on the ground that he is not a trained professional under the medical termination of pregnancy and he did not have a justifying cause as under Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act. He would have got the defense only if he was able to prove that there was a life threatening issue with continuation of that pregnancy or any other ground that's mentioned under the medical termination of pregnancy. As the doctor fails to prove that, and also the fact that he was only a homeopathic doctor and he was not qualified to conduct such a treatment, he was convicted under the before the High Court and upheld by the Supreme Court. The next case is Sharif versus State of Orissa, where the accused was in a relationship with the victim, and during the relationship the victim became pregnant, and in order to terminate the pregnancy the victim was accompanied by the accused to a clinic, and the pregnancy was terminated. And by with because of after knowing about this, the parents sued the accused for causing the termination of pregnancy to the victim. Now the trial court convicted the accused under 313, but on appeal, this had gone to an appeal to the High Court and further to the Supreme Court, and I believe this was referred back. The prosecution failed, in fact, to establish that this was done without the consent of the woman. And the woman also accepted the fact that she had given consent to the commission of the termination, and this was done because of the social stigma. In this regard, the accused cannot be held liable under this case for under 13. Now, if the case had to proceed and an initiation was to be taken forward for the accused and the victim, well, that is something that has to be done in a fresh case, which is silent as of now. The next case is State of Maharashtra versus Flora Sandoon Coutinho. So here the accused had an illicit relationship with the woman, and during the process of causing during the process she was pregnant, and in order to cause the termination, the accused took the help of his friend to commit the procedure for abortion on the woman. During the process, the this caused the death of the woman, and the accused was definitely charged under 314. The accused took the defense on the ground that it was done in good faith to save the life of the deceased, but the accused failed to establish the element of good faith involved in the act. It was evident that the procedure was only to hide the illicit relationship that existed between the accused and the deceased. Therefore, the accused was held responsible for the death of the deceased and was liable under 340. Similarly, in the case of Surendra Chauhan versus State of MP, where the deceased had an illicit relationship with the accused, and they were, as the version of the prosecution states, the accused made an out of court extrajudicial confession to the mother of the deceased. But this was denied by the accused and stated that this is completely a framed case and the accused had no relationship or had any connection to the deceased, and he came across the deceased when the Dr. Sharma called him to find out if he could identify the deceased while she was in the hospital. But the fact that there were certain tools, the surgical equipments Hindi books regarding abortions and novels with the accused, and the fact that there were witnesses which saw accused and the deceased together held that the accused had an involvement in termination of pregnancy. The question also before the court was, can the doctor and the accused be held together under 34? Well, on appeal, the court had partially allowed on the fact that there was no sharing of common intention in this regard. The accused had accompanied the deceased, but the fact that the fact that the deceased had died due to vaginal abrasions and something that is caused because of lack of anesthesia fails to read 34 in this regard. Therefore, the accused was held liable for the death of the deceased, but the Supreme Court reduced the punishment. So, I hope you get a clarification on causing miscarriage, where the miscarriage is caused without a good faith to save the life of the woman, and this is resulted either with the consent or without the consent of the woman, and during the process of death occurs, and the only reason that permits is the exceptions that's under medical termination of pregnancy act. All right, thank you.